Hello. At 20th of November, traditionally, all over the world, we celebrate World Children's Day. It was first established in 1954 by the General Assembly of United Nations as a declaration of international, worldwide collaboration in the field of brothership and welfare of children. And further in 1959 and in 1989, the fundamental documents on the rights of children were established, and therefore we celebrate on the 20th of November the annuals of these documents, the Declaration of Children's Rights and Convention on Children's Rights. In my own life, all my professional development has been more or less connected with children, and it was dedicated to both perinatal welfare, health of children, or even the developmental pediatrics, as well as the reproductive health of women and the welfare of her child. We have dozens of investigations, dissertations, and populational studies in the field of relationship between perinatal health and the further development of child and even adults, as well as in the field of education in our educational cluster of evidence-based medicine. We also have a big chapter of the parts of medicine related to the childhood. So naturally, when I decided to establish the medical cluster, one of the main programs we care about is the defense, the medical care about the children who suffer from the war. There are three directions of these aspects: physical or somatical, psychological or mental, and social or everyday being. For example, those children who enter our program undergo the basic audition, some audit, their medical checkup and psychological as well. And if we reveal any problems in these fields, we do our best to fully heal their acute conditions, to compensate chronic ones, and of course, building of further welfare of these children from both somatic or physical and mental aspects. As for social aspects, we monitor whether the everyday conditions in which these children live are favorable for their health, and if not, we do our best to improve them. For example, we could find the place where this family might live. We may find and find a work for the parents of the child and help to get employed in our cluster or in our partners, and etc. This summer we also conducted, together with Ukrainian donors, the Kurnikov Kids camp, in which more than 200 children had chance to have their pleasure through all over the summer period. And I hope that this initiative will be repetitious, and these children and even their families may join this camp every year further. So if you are interested in getting our support, our help in the field of children's health, or you are eager to help the children, maybe again in field of health care, or maybe any aspects related to childhood, you're kindly welcome to join Medical Cluster. In order to do this, simply contact me personally or my team by any way what is convenient for you, and keep healthy. See you soon. Good luck.